Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. I, too, want to thank Chairman Pitts and all the members who have worked so hard on this. And I know we're all here because we're trying to do the best that we can. But that being said, I am here to speak against House Bill 1. As we've been hearing from all the other speakers, everything that we do here is about choices. House Bill 1 is predicated on a false choice. The choice to balance our state's budget through cuts alone. The choice of those in power to force this upon us completely shut down any discussion of ways to find a more balanced approach, which would have included cuts, but would also have responsibly looked at utilizing funds from the Economic Stabilization Fund and/or additional sources of revenue. This budget is a choice to go ahead and lay off teachers and principals, nursing home caregivers, and thousands of state employees, rather than engaging in a responsible discussion of those priorities that keep our state moving forward. No matter how low our taxes, no matter how few our regulations, no matter how much tort reform we have, businesses will stop coming here creating jobs if we don't provide an educated workforce. Because you see, there has to be a balance between a strong business environment and a healthy infrastructure that supports those families that come here with those businesses and those who work in those businesses. What we're doing here tonight will have a devastating impact on our economic prosperity for years to come. I also want to say something about those who have justified a cuts-only approach by claiming that we can only spend what we have, that we have to live within our means. I find this very disingenuous. The truth is, we have allowed political rhetoric to box us into a corner by allowing the perpetuation of the myth that we can provide something for nothing. That's simply not true. Rather than have honest discussions with the citizens of this state about what we want government to provide, how much it should cost, and how we should pay for it, we have perpetuated a false impression that our revenue is sufficient, that government is bloated, and that cuts are the only way to balance a budget. I have a hard time believing that when the LBB indicates that we're 50th in the nation in terms of expenditure per capita. I have a hard time believing that when only 70% of our students end up graduating from high school. I have a hard time believing that when 50% of our students who enter higher education need to take remedial courses because they are not prepared for college-level work. And I also have a hard time believing our claims of holding the line on taxes, wink, wink, while we push costs down to local governments and local taxpayers who are left to foot the bill. House Bill 1 gives us a budget that sacrifices fiscal responsibility in the name of fiscal conservatism. I think we're better than that. I know Texas is better than that. I am not willing to sacrifice our future with the false choices that we have been forced to make. I am voting against House Bill 1, not because I think we can solve all our problems by spending more money, but because I know we can't solve our problems if we just cut. On behalf of teachers, students, nursing home residents, state employees, and Texas families, that's not a choice that I'm willing to make. Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members.